Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. Welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As you might notice by my less than professional apparel, it is another pajama party because I am still not well. There is a higher and higher percentage by test chance that this is some form of COVID, which annoys me, but I'm in denial. So I'm taking a third test today. But yes, it's probably COVID. And so, today we're going short again because I need to rest again. And you know, I'll tell you this. I've got the trip coming up next weekend. It's going to go to MetroCon and all that. I was so afraid because last year I caught COVID at MetroCon. I did not at all think about the idea that I would get it before the trip. What in the hell? Dr. Puppeteer, Light Steve, Chaos Goblin Dog, Silent Follower, Drowsy, Chesta Factory, Zerdrin, Epic Fire Dragon, Junior Researcher Alex, good to see you guys in the chat. Thank you for being members. Tech Gamer, Dark Deezer, Dr. Akiv, D's Nuts, welcome to Site-42's chat, just for being you. As I said, tonight we are a whole bunch of quiet today. I need to rest my voice, so we're going to have a short stream. It's a little more subdued than usual. I will still answer your questions to the best of my ability, whether those questions are about the anomalies we contain at the Foundation, the fantastic anomalous staff of Containment, the groups of interest who rival our thoughts about what to do with the anomalous, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies you may know from other fandoms or universes. So, yes, oh, because I changed my name. Well, it's still Drowsy, so I still see the Drowsy even if you got something out of it. Did you get vaccinated? Yes, I have been vaccinated multiple times due to the medical advice, as well as soon as SCP-1024-B was reinstated, and due to the staff who would be helming the United States government's medical bureau, due to living in America and having Site-42 in America, I did get vaccinated immediately after the election for reasons that I think are becoming clearer every day. I love working for the Foundation because we don't answer to political groups. We just stick to our own business, but we are still affected in some ways just by being in the general proximity. Junior Researcher, it says power line. Yes, this is where you discover that I, in fact, have more than one set of power line pajamas. I told you, Goofy movie is my favorite Disney movie. And so this is not even the extent of my power line Goofy movie pajama and t-shirt collection. Now, Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot cup of chicken soup on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, it seems my whole new batch of junior researchers are Zygon. What the heck, man? Also, are you feeling better? Zygon, I'll look that up real quick. The name is familiar. So, yes, those impersonator aliens. I remember those. Well, we need insiders into that race of aliens, so they're in training right now. It's a double agent deal. You'll figure it out. And, yes, I am feeling better, but I'm definitely not feeling up to capacity. So, improvement, but not enough improvement for my taste. And also, just to quote the title of today's stream, whoever wrote that book of common diseases instead of a book of common cures can eat my whole. It's incredibly... Why would you make the disease book and not the cure book? I'm telling you. This is just common sense, I thought. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a blueberry muffin on your way past the commissary. If COVID was an SCP, what would the Foundation do? A far better job of containing it than has been done. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice spot of tea on your way past the commissary. I'll be completely out of contact for a bit. We'll update once this passes and I am clear. Dr. Darkstar, L3 Researcher, out for now. Godspeed, Dr. Darkstar. And by that I mean Uber Driver Jesus, because when I want speed, I want SCP-029-J. Uber Driver Jesus has it in spades. Catching COVID in 2025 is a big skill issue. Just joking. Well, intern Russell, haha, very funny. Part of my cover job is partner dance teaching, so I'm always within 3 feet of people's faces for extended periods of time. So, you know, sometimes you just get close to the wrong person. Senior Researcher Frogman, time check. We are 6 minutes into what will be probably an hour-ish stream tops. We're keeping it short today because I still need to rest, both resting and my voice in general, since it seems to be specifically attacking my throat. Joshua, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Can we not eat the SCPs? You cannot eat the SCPs. That is against the rules. You are not to be eating SCPs. For instance, intern Cutie, you are not going to eat SCP-999 no matter how many times you say it. I will put you against a firing line rather than have that happen. You have been warned. You called 049 handsome and hot. Just say he's fashionable, Dr. Sherman. Listen. Intern Jones. Just because I am asexual does not mean I am blind. I can objectively tell that that particular iteration was quite both fashionable and attractive in a physical manner, even if I am not into that kind of thing. That's half of the job of being annoyed and asexual at the Foundation, is making sure you can recognize these things so you can lock them down before idiot interns try to fraternize with them. You've got to be aware. Don't cover your eyes in blindness. It doesn't help. I see a Ko-Fi donation I'm going to get to before I miss it. Chesta Factory, thank you for your Ko-Fi donation. Make sure to grab yourself a fried sushi roll on your way past the commissary. I wonder if COVID was an entry in SCP-1025 and someone managed to read the entry for it. I would find that very annoying. We buried that book for a reason. It's not supposed to be unburied. It's not supposed to be unboxed. Mobile Task Force Captain Aether, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a order of egg rolls on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, got a question for you. How would the Foundation contain Zal Ataf for World of Warcraft, since she is a void-based entity, otherwise known as an old god? Let me confirm in the database entries here for Zal Ataf. All right, I've got 2 different databases here. The Harbinger, ancient malevolent being of the void, able to manifest in any form it chooses. Spirit trapped in a blade. Sacrificial dagger. Of course, an idiot warrior released the entity from the dagger. That's always the way it goes. Well, my first move is to trap her in a dagger again. Yes, if the entity can be trapped in a weapon, that is my first priority. Because then we can lock the weapon in a box. Love that idea. Now we're cooking with gas. Meanwhile, Yes, my first move is trap it in a weapon again. My second is to... I mean, we'd have to use some sort of thaumaturgy to banish the entity from outside our realm where we don't have to deal with it. Although, it doesn't seem to be that overpowered as it goes for these kind of outsider entities. This Warcraft world certainly has a lot of lore. Possessing a deceased elven body, that means it is inside a body, which means we could just lock it in a containment cell as well. So, several ways to contain this entity, thankfully. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, I have a new punishment for traitors in our ranks. Made them read through the entirety of 1025. While a fun idea, certainly appropriate for some who commit treason against the Foundation, again, we're leaving it locked in a box, buried where we left it. It caused a whole lot of problems, and we don't want it released. It's staying in the box. David, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot toddy on your way past the commissary. Would I be classified as an SCP as I am a half-blooded dragon? Well, any non-human typing dragon entities are certainly anomalous, that is for sure. Now, to be an SCP, obviously you need to be on the SCP database. So for now, you're not classified as SCP, even if you are anomalous. Hell, many things in the SCP universe are anomalous but not SCPs, because maybe the Global Occult Coalition has contained of them. And that way, they are threat entities instead of SCPs. Maybe they're in possession of one of the other groups of interest, and they have their own database entries for it. They're not specific to SCP. It's just a technicality in the database. Dragon number 474-36236. Yep, Site 42 sure has an overabundance of dragon anomalies for some reason. Oh no, is desk not here? No, the desk was locked in a closet due to a prank. And once it gets out, it will be very funny. Why does Site 42 have so many dragons? Alki, I think the real question is, why do other places not have so many dragons? I just don't think they're cool enough. Dr. Sherman, how do you become a doctor? Asking for a fellow intern. Also having issues getting rid of an alternate in my basement. Who do I call for that? Well, that should just basically be a security force, but... Well, if you want to be a doctor, you must obtain a doctorate. You must have a PhD in something. Or an MD if you were going to be a medical doctor, but that's different. And so, yes, you have to get your proper education to graduate to being a doctor. That's all. Do you think you might have strep throat? Also love the shirt. Well, thank you, Dr. Singer. I am, based on the 2 COVID tests that came up really quickly with yeses, but one of them might have been expired and the other one seemed tetchy. I'm going for 3rd time's a charm, but I think we've narrowed down that it is another COVID situation. Frustratingly enough. Dr. Sherman, you need to go to bed and get ice cream, please, Dr. Sherman. Listen, I feel better than I did yesterday. It's one step at a time. We're just protecting the streak. 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour today. That's all. The worst of it was definitely Monday. Monday night, Tuesday morning was very bad. Yesterday in the evening, I started feeling better. Was a little rough sleeping, coughing through the night. Today's a little better than that. So let's We're on the upswing, I believe. But I'm still only doing a short stream just in case. Anyone ever heard of SCP-105992-01? Intern TK, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 2 more digits than we have in the database, which currently ends at 8999. So your universe scares me for that having that many anomalies. No, we haven't heard of it, and I shudder to think of what you all are dealing with over there. What would happen if you put SCP-049 and SCP-106 in a room? Well, I would not know how SCP-049's Death Touch would interact with someone with the increased durability of SCP-106. Nor do I want to test this at all, because remember, we don't destroy anomalies here at the Foundation. And that means that we are not going to test this. Dr. Sherman's body. Fucking dying. Dr. Sherman, I must extend the stream streak. Listen, we are 5 days from 3 months of daily streams. 5 days. We can't lose that yet. SCP-001 is my favorite absolutely unhinged evil. Intern Universe, which 001 are you speaking of? Many of them are not evil at all. I'm rather confused by your statement. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream. Zerdrin, you are correct. You are halfway to having more likes than viewers. Keep hitting that like button. And even for a short stream, let's bring people to the Foundation fandom, even on a casual stream. Damn, I hope the best for those that put desk in the closet. I hope someone doesn't accidentally drop a machine gun outside the closet for when he gets out. Oh, come now. That's a ridiculous thought. Obviously, desk prefers shotguns. Are you familiar with Deltarune? Intern Robot Puppet, thank you for your membership. And I am quite familiar, although I am not playing the game. I am keeping up on the lore of Monsieur Tobias Fox. Quite an interesting universe that person of interest has crafted. So, yes, very entertaining. If you got permission from the O5 Council, you could test 049's touch on that thing. Chestifactory, you are correct about this. I just have to fight the 2 wolves in my soul, one of which wants 729-J destroyed versus the one that doesn't destroy anomalies. It's a difficult place to be, a veritable rock and a hard place. How do people start working for the Foundation if no one outside the Foundation knows it exists? Alki, the answer is quite simple. We headhunt. When you are the best of the best of the best in your field, the Foundation keeps an eye on you. And when it seems like the right time to pull you into the fold, you'll receive an offer that you'd better not refuse. I mean, you can turn down the job, it's just that you'll be amnesticized and you won't be told about it again. Hi, is part of working at the Foundation being constantly exhausted but not in a sleepy way? Random fandom, it is both being exhausted in a sleepy and a non-sleepy way. Even when you have time off, you're coming back to a very dangerous job with a lot going on, so yes, well-rested is not the way you describe many Foundation researchers. I think the scariest SCP is 953 because, well, she's a crazy bitch. She scares me. I don't want to be Site-17 just because of that one SCP. Why would you be afraid of one little fox girl? Come along now. There are so many terrors beyond comprehension, and you're afraid of one little fox girl. Come now, come now. Steel yourself. You're not going to handle SCP-2718 if you can't handle such a simple anomaly. And 3999 is absolutely out of the way. And what about SCP-8329, the prize people? How are you going to deal with the prize people if you can't handle a tiny little fox girl? Come now. Dr. Sherman, can I give SCP-682 a lil top hat? Internally on? Request denied. What a silly, obviously answered question. Come now. Use some proper critical thinking. Internal lemonade. Can you tell me the most sexiest ones? Hee hee. Security. Please abduct intern Lemonade and take it to questioning. We do not fraternize with the anomalies. Your re-education will be painful. Hashtag annoyed in asexual indeed, random fandom and Zerdrin. Indeed. Dr. Sherman, another wizard, breached containment. Okay, intern puppet, I'm going to need you... Sorry, researcher puppet. You're a member. Researcher puppet. I need you to confirm for me. Is it... What kind of wizard is it? Because, for instance, if it's an iteration of SCP-8320, codename 800 million wizards, then all you need to do is pick up any old gun that you have and shoot it in the head. Then it will turn back into a standard cat and run off into the wild and it will be fine. If it's one of those wizards, just and you're done. But there are a lot of other wizards that might be more of a hassle. Scarlet Fox. Sorry, Doc, can't make the stream today. That's quite all right. The VOD will be up. It's a short stream. You're not going to miss much, and you can catch up on the playlist. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bag of potato chips on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherm, could I summon some elder deity to help get rid of whatever it is, quote, borrowed Necronomicon from the library? No, you're going to need to clean up your mess without summoning an elder deity again. You can't always fall back on an elder deity. You've got to learn some self-reliance. Waiting for Mr. Illustrated to cover SCP-001 when day breaks versus the malfunctioning destroyer. Haven't checked his 001 series in a while, but I don't think he's there yet. When you say he's there yet, are you assuming that he's going to be there? Do you know that for a fact, or are you just guessing? Because I know what I know for a fact is they are getting into the last episodes of that series. And so that when the Daybreak series is coming to an end, that will be the finale is imminent. Part 2, Unlondon, IKEA, The Voices, 179, 106, Elmo's Fire, 049, Process, Undublin, 096, 173, Gate Guardian, 682, The Forest, 610, Unlondon, Undublin, Part 3, 343, The Moon. Yes, it's already done The Destroyer. The Destroyer is episode 23 in this playlist. You could have checked that on your own. Dr. Sherman, please help. SCP-1025 is trying to flirt with me. Send Mobile Task Force or guards. Modern Might, your narcissism is showing. It's not flirting with you. It wants to kill you. Go. Children, honestly. Izzy Corpse and Arlek, or Arelk. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Am I allowed to personalize my desk? Of course, within reason. The manual of allowed personalization decorations is in the second right desk drawer of your desk. It contains all the bylaws necessary. Don't step outside the lines. Anna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a warm pretzel with cheese dip on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, it's Anna. I just got back from St. Louis and found the area of SCP-4181. SCP-481, you found it. Oh, that's charming. Did you get any pictures? Were there any anomalous events going on near that spatula store that you visited? I'm trying to spatula land. Yes, that's right. Did you get any photos? Did anything go down? Any problems or issues? Security breaches? Or was it just a nice tour of the facility? Were you picking up slack? Hi, Dr. Sherman, how are you feeling? I haven't shown my article to anyone yet, but I'm planning to show it to my friend whose birthday is coming up. Well, very cool, yes. You want to, when getting critique for an article, you want to show it to, depending on how confident you are in the piece, it's good to show it to 3 to 5 to maybe even 7 people for critique over the course of a couple rounds. It's very helpful in the process to get some fresh eyes on it. And I am, I'd say, about 10% better than I was yesterday. Still going to be taking it easy today and continue to recover as I can. Dun, 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 dun. Your local nuisance, as you're being told in the chat. We do not speak about that certain researcher you are naming due to certain issues its author has done. And so any mention of Dr. Bright is ignored on the Site 42 channel. This is your only warning. If you want to know why that's the case, there's a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright, and it is a short summary of why we do not talk about that character anymore. Dr. Sherman, I'm mailing you an image of 096's face. Well, I appreciate that. It's good to get those off the street. I'll make sure when I get that mail from you to burn it. Help, I found Waldo. Help, I found Waldo. Well, that person is dead, so you will be missed. Chester Factory, thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi yet again. You can grab yourself some beef jerky on your way past the commissary for that. I found a book called The Book of Common Cures, and I'm currently in the middle of research to see if it has any anomalous features. Also, I like how I have 9 of the 13 latest donations on Ko-Fi. Very nice. In case those of you in the chat are unfamiliar, our Ko-Fi is in our support link. Our support link being beacons.ai/site42. And all that does is it lets your donation go 100% to the creator rather than a YouTube super chat, which usually takes between 30 and 50%, depending on if it's YouTube only or YouTube and iOS taking their cut. So it's a bit longer to go around to Ko-Fi, but it is appreciated, the effort in direct donations. Meanwhile, I would love it if that Book of Common Cures was, in fact, the proper alternate to the Book of Common Diseases. Although, now that I think about it, that might cause its own list of problems, having the cure to every disease right on hand. Hell, I'd hate to see what 049 would do with such a thing. The freakout it's going to have when it finds a cure for the pestilence. Hey, Dr. Sherman, hope you feel better soon. Just hope I don't get killed by an SCP today. I just started. Hopefully this job will be good for me. Intern Goofy Goober, I want you to know, deaths by SCPs are far less common than people think. Yes, is there a containment breach? Days since containment breach signed in every site? Yes, but most of them have numbers in the double digits. Most of them. So no, you're going to be fine. Welcome to the team. And I'm doing better and better by day. I just need to keep resting. Miss something here? No, I didn't. Ah, Anna, yes, thank you for donating again. Not really a small tour. Also got a bunch of pics and vids of the aquarium. So just a small tour of Spatula Land. Did you at all encounter the spatula bird mascot they have? What was the name of it? Slappy the Spatula Bird? Did you encounter Slappy the Spatula Bird? Was there any problem there? Or was it all fine and dandy like sour candy? No, doctor, don't say that thing's designated number. You might throw up for real. Also, don't go near 049 right now. Oh, yes, stay away from 049 anytime you are sick. It gets very paranoid. And, yes, the nausea I was feeling a couple days ago has passed. Until I'm exposed to that thing's designation number again. But that's just standard. That's not related to my illness. I've never joined a stream before. Hello. Intern Ultima Republic, welcome to your first Site42 stream. As always, in case you don't know or forgot, my name is Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site42. I may be a little more casually dressed because it's a pajama party due to the fact that I'm sick. And so we are relaxing for a short stream today before I go back to bed. But I at least continue the streak and make sure I answer your questions about the anomalies we contain at the Foundation, the containment staff who contain them, the groups of interest who rival our views on what to do with the anomalous, and of course any hypotheticals you have about containment procedures of anomalies outside the SCP fandom or universe. Dr. Sherman, from what country, continents do most SCPs come from? That is all of them. Anomalies are a worldwide issue, a worldwide plague, if you will. We need to constantly be hunting all over the world to contain these things. So, it is not that they are centralized in one place at all. Yo, Dr. Sherman. Doctor, not Mr. Keep up. SCP-049 has stolen the gender-switching device again and has started TikTok dancing. Throw back to your most famous vid, lol. Now, remember, or you might not remember, right now there's a bit of a truce going between myself and SCP-049. In return for free use of the gender-switching stone, 049 is working on one of our mobile task forces, helping to contain anomalies. So as long as 049 continues helping the containment teams, it is allowed to be using the gender-switching stone right now. Out of character, so you know it's not a prank, but I swear spicy soup helps with sore throats, or at least mine. Not a bad plan, Project Unfarmed, and thank you for being a member. Spicy caspacin does help with irritation, so that is a good idea, yes. We have more likes than viewers? We do have more likes than viewers. Congratulations, Sci42 chat, you did it. Of course, we still have 20 to 40 minutes left on this stream, so if you would like to keep hitting that like button, we can drag more people into the SCP fandom. I appreciate your service, Mobile Task Force Sci42. Codename Signal Boosters. I need the gender-switching stone. I'm a trans guy. Well, at Intern Astro, all you need to do is go to your on-site therapist and fill out the proper paperwork. You see, SCP-113 has a non-zero chance of death, and it has a 100% chance of being exceptionally painful. So we need to make sure that you are properly briefed and have all your I's crossed and T's dotted before you get to use said device. Now, of course, every time you use the gender-switching stone, that chance of death increases, which is why we only want you to do it one time. So make sure you're sure. Epsilon 11, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go and get yourself some rations on your way past the commissary. Anna, thank you for donating again. I did, but stay guard of it since it's an anomaly. I also want to ask who would want to fight. The Godchild or 729-J. Okay. Well, I need a confirmation of what you mean by Godchild. Is that a specific SCP anomaly? Because I know about the Witch Child, but the Godchild, I'm not familiar with that one. I'm looking and it seems to be related to SCP-2675. Is that what we're speaking of? Frogman says they're talking about 239, which is what I would have thought. But 2675, the Godchild, does come up, and it says things such as, I sail for the Godchild, born of the atom. My flesh burns with the light of his knowledge. I am no longer life, but time and energy. So that seems like a nuclear bomb. So I'm going to wait for Anna, or I think I saw other people asking that question, if they want to clarify which anomaly they're speaking of. I mean, I could also simply say that as SCP-729-J was able to destroy SCP-682, I might just think it could solo both of them. That's my next thought. Sherman, they have swords. Intern Gore, you idiot. We've all got swords. Or at least guns that are named after cool swords, because that makes guns cooler when they're named after swords. So use your tools effectively. Epsilon 11, thank you for donating again. Site 42 is experiencing multiple Euclid breaches. I'm sorry, what? I don't have any alarms going here. It seems fine according to my security feeds. Must be some alternate universe BS. King Crook, you're asking what my favorite SCP is? I always tell you my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's sort of a tradition around here we have with chat. Now, that stream ending may be in the next 20 to 40 minutes, but you could always cheat and go back to yesterday's VOD, because on the VOD, you'll see that I did it at the end of stream again. So you can check it out there if you want to rush. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a coffee on your way past the commissary. Gotta go eat dinner. Hope you get better soon. Hot soup, warm showers, and sleep help. Take care. Sorry you're feeling unwell. Much obliged. I will continue resting and taking care to the best of my ability. I gotta get back into fighting shape so I can travel. I've been trying to do the pen trick, not days in a row, but if I think about it. And do I do 3 fingers, then 4, or 4 from the start? Also, is it switching over and under, or doing it all one way? So, can you do it with 3 fingers? I've never tried it with just 3 fingers, but you... Huh. You get it there, and there, and there. So when I do it with 3 fingers, it keeps crawling up the pen, so I'm going to run out of space. So I would suggest start with 4. And so when I have 4 here, I'm holding the pen between 2 fingers, and it goes under first, then it comes over, under, over, under. You can go the other way as well, but it's always going to be 2 of one and 2 of the other if you're doing all 4 fingers. Practicing with your palm up makes it easier because gravity is keeping the pen in your hand. Practicing it palm down is like weight training. It makes it harder because gravity is fighting you. And naturally, I just hold it and I do a little wrist motion, and that little wrist infinity gives it extra momentum, which helps out. But you also might throw your pen across the room. Not that I've ever done so, and you've never seen me do so. So yes, maybe those tips will help out. Anna, thank you for donating again. It was for America. Well, I'll keep my eye on the chat for America and see what they clarify. Angel Miramon, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Dr. Sherman, I love these streams. Well, Ronick Craddock, I am glad to hear it. We're doing our best out here in these streets to keep good SCP information going out to the people. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Emergency broadcast. I saw a guard with a cup of orange goo with eyes, and 999 is missing. Emergency lockdown. Send units to level 3, section 4. Wait, did I hear him slurp? Dear God, send help. Now, the funny thing, at least in most universes, SCP-1025 does not have eyes. So, those are 2 unrelated security breaches there. I don't know what that guy drank, but it's probably not going to be good for his health. Hayden, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a tuna melt on your way past the commissary. I don't cast kidney stone, I cast appendicitis. See ya. That very sad, unhealthy wizard keeps casting spells on itself. Maybe we should put it out of its misery. If the gender switching stone is painful and will kill you if you use it more than once, how does 049 keep using it so freely? Even if they're anomalous, won't it hurt? Random fandom, that is one of the questions we have in studying this phenomena, because 049 does not seem to deal with either of the deleterious effects of SCP-113. Research, it continues. Last question before I leave. What happens if every reality/timeline reset anomaly is activated/used at the exact same time? Well, that would be very unlikely, but my assumption is there's some sort of pecking order for which would be the strongest, and or whichever one was pushed first. Because you can't push all the buttons at the exact same millisecond. So, I'm sure one of them would be slightly earlier than the rest. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Have you not seen 999 for a while? Either he was switched out, or he just has eyes now for whatever reason. Check the tapes if you can, please. Security camera, A. No, that's still a 3 meter by 1 meter slime. No facial features. That is the normal SCP-999. Did we get a second one? Are we babysitting a 999 from another universe? We are a transit site, after all. Site 42 is used as an in-between space because of spatial anomalies that we're built on top of. So we can send things from one site to another very easily. It's our claim to fame as a Foundation site. It's also a very chaotic campus to be a part of because of all the anomalies that come through on temporary times. Dr. Sherman, do you know the exact site SCP-1048 and 1048-A through C are located at? No one in the facility will supply us with the information. Intern King, we can't supply you with the information because we don't know where they are. They're missing. That's the entire problem. Didn't you read to the end of the document? They're on the run. That's why we have a problem with 1048. All right, a quick side tangent, everyone. It is that time of the stream, towards the end but not quite, when I am going to read for you a random Classicon entry. A random Classicon entry. In case you're unfamiliar, Classicon is the current contest going on at the SCP facility. It is a contest for writing simple horror SCPs less than 1,000 words. It is bringing back the old days of SCP. And boy, over the last couple days have we read some very good ones. And so I'm picking them at random and we're reading them. There's way too many to go through on stream, so just a couple of them here and there. Whew. I feel like I just inhaled some dust. We might be getting to the end of stream if that's how my voice wants to act. Hi. I'll be back for one moment. Let Dr. Chair entertain you with a tale about the inception of Classicon. Did you learn the true meaning of Classicon, everyone? And if so, will you tell me? Because I wasn't here to hear the story. I'm glad to see that you are well educated. Good work, Dr. Chair. All right. Before I pick our random story, Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. I don't know, I just went to 999's room 3 days ago, and it, thank you, had eyes. Could 999 please be the exception to the SCP no gender rule? What gender do you want it to be? It is a slime. It does not have standard gender markers of any type. It is a slime. What a strange request. All right, Classicon. Scrolling up and down on the screen. And once I'm done scrolling up and down on the screen, I'm going to scroll up and down with my mouse, and I will settle on the random. Boom. Today's Classicon entry seems to have 2 names. No, this is just a fun little flavor text. Okay. Today's Classicon entry is SCP-1025, known as codename Murder Mystery Monster. Now, this is at a rating of +9, so it is either fairly new or it's not very popular. We'll have to check it out. Written by author Mr. Toasty. It was posted 2 days ago. Okay, so since it's a newer entry, not as many people have seen it yet, so hey, will be at least 1 vote on it today. From the top, everyone. Item number, SCP-7586. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. Entities kept in Containment Chamber 55 in Site 203, fed raw meat twice daily, and monitored by a rotating shift of guards. Entity may be presented with mystery and pulp novels as a reward. Upon the termination of any Foundation personnel, SCP-7586 is to be, quote, consulted regarding the nature of said termination. In order to ensure containment, a minimum of 2 deceased personnel per month is required. The location of the personnel and nature of their termination is irrelevant. Description: SCP-7586 is a sapient, predatory entity with cephalomelia, otherwise known as 5 heads, and polymelia, 5 prehensile limbs, predisposed to solving murders. It volunteered its service after witnessing a D-Class being transferred to forensics for post-mortem study, but was declined. The entity became hostile, threatening to consume the entirety of Site-203's personnel. After negotiations with various staff members, SCP-7586 agreed to remain docile in exchange for being allowed to unearth the circumstances surrounding the D-Class's expiration. Upon its success, the entity was contained without issue. Addendum: a recording of an investigation conducted by SCP-7586. The deceased personnel, Technician Sasha Del Rio, had been exposed to an organophosphorus compound emitted by an unrelated anomaly during a breach. And now we have a log of this investigation. Note: Chief of Security Dabo Aloe and Junior Researcher Adele Ampersand accompanied SCP-7586 to act as, quote, law enforcement and, quote, a sounding board, respectively. Note. Alright, here we go. Subtitle. SCP-7586 is examining Del Rio's body. It is wearing 5 deer stalkers and blowing on 4 bubble pipes, which it produced anomalously. SCP-7586 speaks. Yes. Traces of some sort of nerve agent. Mucus and blood issuing from the nasal cavity. And you say she was vomiting and spasming uncontrollably. By George, what a diabolical way to murder someone. Aloe speaks. The anomaly naturally issues a toxic gaseous compound. It absorbs moisture in the air for nourishment and releases. Ampersand puts a hand on Aloe's arm, shaking her head. One of SCP-7586's heads looks up. What's that, old boy? I was about to say that, perhaps you should investigate the scene of the, crime and... Ah, capital idea. Yes, the culprit must have left a clue after fleeing. And who knows, it may return to where it perpetrated its heinous act. The game is afoot, dear Ampersand. SCP-7586 scurries off. Ampersand blocks its path. Wait, it's a high security area. There's a lot of confidential, information being passed around there. Confound it all. These restrictions are getting in the way of my... Wait, did you say confidential? Yes. Level 3 clearance and higher. And Miss Del Rio, did she have this clearance? Ampersand and Aloe stare anxiously at each other. No. Egad! The fiend must have dragged her into the area so it could do away with her in a more private setting. Aha! But I've outsmarted the rascal. Give me what information you can, and I'll wager I can solve the mystery without ever leaving this spot. Ampersand and Aloe hesitate. Ampersand eventually leaves to consult senior personnel, while Aloe remains with SCP-7586. It blows bubbles as it laughs quietly. Ampersand returns with a clipboard and several photographs. She hands them to SCP-7586, who grunts quietly as it examines them. Yes. Apparently, there was some structural damage suffered during the event. This door here was broken from the inside, and... What is it? Look! It points to a broken metal container. A rupture. What was this container storing? Just nitrous oxide. We used it for anesthesia. Drat. I thought I was onto something. It grunts and blows bubbles while scratching its chins. After a few moments, SCP-7586 re-examines the data. You said you use anesthetics. Are there any other compounds that might be readily available? Ampersand glances at Aloe fretfully. He shrugs. Sometimes mobile task forces use sarin for dangerous missions. Gadzooks, man! Why didn't you tell me sooner? This is the whole linchpin of the mystery! Aloe stares awkwardly. Have any mobile task forces gone missing, or reported any missing equipment? Aloe glances nervously at Ampersand. We did actually have someone report that her locker had been broken into. That cinches it! Quick! Gather all the suspects and meet me in the lounge. I've broken the lid off this case. SCP-7586 laughs triumphantly. Ampersand and Aloe appear mortified, but recover. Aloe escorting SCP-7586 to the lounge, while Ampersand contacts Director Talbot. 8 minutes of recording are omitted for brevity. Various Site-203 personnel are seen assembled in the lounge, including Talbot. SCP-7586 is seen pacing back and forth. Thank you all for coming here. I want to first thank Mr. Aloe and Miss Ampersand for their invaluable assistance, and the rest of you for your patience during this grim time. At long last, I have solved the mystery behind Sasha Del Rio's death. Clearly, our perpetrator wished to abscond with valuable Foundation property, and would resort to murder most foul to achieve its goal. It broke through the restricted doorways and entered into the ladies' locker room, but Miss Del Rio caught it in the act before it could complete its ghastly mission. It then overpowered her and used the only thing in its possession, a sarin canister it had stolen. The good woman was unprepared for such an attack and tragically succumbed. Director Talbot! Talbot flinches. Yes? Is there anyone in this facility that cannot account for themselves during the breach? Yes. We have an anomaly held in cell 812. We place it there as a precaution. Capital! Then the jig is up. I've no doubt that this anomaly is the culprit we're after. Good to know. Can we go now? Yes. The case is officially solved. Director, Officer Aloe, I leave the rest to you. I'd like to retire to my chambers now. Perhaps dine on some lamb in celebration. We'll see what we can arrange. Well done, 7586. Aloe escorts 7586 back to its containment chamber. Project Unfarmed. Are they murdering people to keep this guy calm? I mean, it has 5 heads and 5 arms. Maybe. I'm going to the discussion now for more information. What's a Classicon without a classic murder monster? Answer, a better contest. Heyo. Luckily, he's more Clouseau than Poirot. I think Clouseau Poirot might have hit harder if there were actual shenanigans going on in the background rather than just a fake investigation. Even so, it's a charming inversion of the murder monster archetype. I wish that there had been more physical comedy involved in the story about a walking starfish with 5 heads and 5 deerstalkers that thinks it's the world's greatest detective. As is, the dialogue wasn't enough to carry the article. A lot of people are... yeah. I thought it was a little fun, but I can't give this an upvote myself. Just doesn't have enough substance at the end there. I wanted something for the end of the mystery between that last minute there. It just kind of ends. I think I'm gonna no vote on it. I don't like it enough to downvote it, but I think I'm neutral to it. I did enjoy doing the voice. The voice was fun. Can't find it on my end. What's the SCP? I think it's a 001 where there are no more anomalies. Random to Vandom, I think you're talking about a tale called Quiet Days. In the tale Quiet Days, all anomalies stop being anomalous. And all of the Foundation and groups of interest have to deal with that. Alright, well, my little vocal dust problem there faded away, so maybe I can do one more. But first, Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. People call it a good boy all the time. Well, that's true. Even I do that. But as far as I go, it's against protocol. It's just me doing something that I shouldn't quite. Yes, Random Fandom. I'm glad to hear that I picked the right one. And Project Unfarmed, are you saying that Quiet Days has a sequel called The Price We Pay? I didn't know about that. I'm pulling that up just so I have it to look at for later. Cool. I'll save that for later. All right, there was another donation here. SCP 0 redacted 000. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself some lamb on your way past the commissary. What happens if SCP-343 fights the Immortal Lizard? We've already attempted that. SCP-343 claims, to not be able to see the Immortal Lizard, as if they are both on outer universes touching ours, but not in the same place. a Venn diagram that is two separate circles. So 343 claims not to be able to see 682 and therefore cannot interact with it. At least that's what it claims. Liuna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Can you explain some end-of-the-world classifications? Well, I'm willing to do some, but we have so many of them. And what I'll do for you first is SCP Comprehensive K-Class List. So this list right here that I'm going to drop in the chat link is a semi-official canon list of different K-class scenarios, such as the ZK class reality failure scenario, where reality is fundamentally broken or eliminated, usually due to physics stuff or an SCP that annihilates things by nature. Or the PK class scenario, all in one existential pandemonium event. An event in which a hyper-real consciousness collapses all hyper-realities into the same metaspace, resulting in total narrative collapse from incomprehensibility and annihilation of consciousness. Which SCP-3812, Sam Howell, is one iteration of possibly making such a thing. Then you've got the NK class gray goo scenario, where a self-replicating SCP or object reproduces out of control, causing contamination to the planet, filling and or replacing the world with itself, or similar situations like that. Name for a hypothetical scenario where self-replicating nanomachines malfunction and turn the whole world into goop. So that list that I just posted in the chat has all sorts of these K classes for you. So that was just a couple, but feel free to take a deep dive. Dr. Sherman, I'm going to go investigate an open dark fountain. No, I'm not going into me. Rel, say, why would you think that? I'll close it, totally close it. Haha, what might happen to me? Intern fandom, you are not to go into any spatial anomalies by yourself. You are to take a proper security team, and you are not to get particularly friendly with any anomalous entities contained within said spatial anomaly. I heard about your recent illness, Dr. Sherman. If I'm allowed, I wish you a quick recovery. Dr. W, it's appreciated. I'm definitely improving in condition. It's just going to take time for me to get back up to fighting speed. Liuna, thank you for donating again. End of death sounds so bad. It definitely doesn't sound pleasant, no. Intern Goober, I feel like defying the laws of physics and cleaning the ceiling. Is that fine with you, Dr. Sherman? It does not defy the laws of physics to clean the ceiling. And in fact, it's just good policy to keep things tidy. So go right ahead. You know what? I'm going to shoot out one more Classicon to see how it goes. One more Classicon. I'm going to scroll it. And once I'm done scrolling it, I'm going to move my mouse. Not going to click on anything until I mean to. This next document, before I do the document, Anna, thank you for donating again. Yeah, I also hope you feel better soon. Also, don't let 049 find out about this. A, thank you. I will keep resting. And B, correct. We are not telling 049 that I am sick. We don't trust that thing. It is known to overreact. So, this article has a content warning. Content warning for this article contains implied domestic abuse, murder of women and children, institutional neglect, and alcohol abuse. So one more time. Content warnings for implied domestic abuse, murder of women and children, institutional neglect, and alcohol abuse. This story is called SCP-8678, codename Red Handprints, by SCP author Anorak. Item number SCP-8678. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. As SCP-8678 observations sporadically occur over a vast geographic range, with no way to predict their appearance, full containment at this time is impossible. Family members of those taken are to be amnesticized and provided with a suitable explanation for the disappearance of their loved one or loved ones. Description: SCP-8678 is currently believed to be an entity or number of entities that reside along the northern coast of Alaska and Canada. These entities differ slightly in general appearance, though common characteristics include pale green skin, a flat face with reduced or no visible nostrils, long black hair and fingernails, and prominent aquatic features such as fins or webbed fingers and or toes. SCP-8768 may be nude, but in some instances has been observed wearing a furred amautic. Footnote: amautic are Inuit parkas reserved mostly for women, sporting an integrated baby pouch to carry the wearer's child, and or carrying a large bag. Such observations are always provided by local bystanders or family members of those taken by SCP-8678. The entities have never been observed firsthand by Foundation personnel, though the consistency of bystander reports and the frequency of their sightings are affirmative indicators towards the existence of SCP-8678. References to SCP-8678 have been found in indigenous Inuit folklore, naming these entities the Kalupiluit, the Kalapiluit, or Kalupalik. Such myths, sorry for the earthquake, such myths revolved around a child playing too close to the shoreline or dangerous ice floes where the Kalupalik resided. If the child was to draw too close, the Kalupalik would capture the child, place them in their amautic or sack, and dive back into the water, disappearing. The behavior of SCP-8678 is slightly inconsistent with folklore, however, as it targets women as well as children. Additionally, in myth, it was possible for villagers to rescue those kidnapped by the Kalupalik when they resurfaced. To date, no victim of SCP-8678 has been recovered. Observers reporting kidnappings by SCP-8678 are often close with the victims, either family members or friends with those taken, and have personally witnessed the attack or the aftermath. The majority of these disappearances have thus far happened in rural areas, mostly in smaller coastal villages, though a few have been recorded in the larger towns of the region, Nome and Barrow, Alaska, and Iqaluit, Nunavut. The racial demographic of those taken heavily skews towards Alaska Native, First Nations women and children. Footnote: the gender of the child also skews female, though not enough to be particularly significant, though the ethnicity of witnesses is more evenly distributed. Incident: SCP-8678, October 27th. On October 5th, 1999, Anthony Stevens, the operator of the local weather station, walked into the local police station of Point Lay, Alaska, and reported that his wife and young daughter had been kidnapped by SCP-8678. Stevens was initially taken into custody as suspect in their disappearance, but was released the next day due to lack of evidence. Foundation agent Joshua Seward, under the guise of an FBI agent, was sent to interview Mr. Stevens 4 weeks after the events of the kidnapping. Now we have an interview log between Joshua and Anthony. So, here we go. Begin log. Agent Seward speaks first. All right. I know you've already given your speech to the troopers, and I'm sure the last thing you want to do is reiterate for me, but please, from the top, how did they disappear? Well, I was down by the shore with them, taking a walk on the shore like we do, and, well, my daughter, she saw something out on the ice, a black lump of something, and pointed it out to her mother. I thought nothing of it, thought it was just a clump of seaweed. Then, well, my wife is one of them, and she had told stories about the Kalu Pollock, a bedtime story for the girl, but go on, please. Well, it came in close to the shore, walking across the thin ice, not barely, not even falling through. It was only when it came closer I could see its face, green and mean and full of sharp teeth. The police report said that your hands were bloody when you came to the station. How do you explain that, sir? Well, the thing came close when it grabbed my daughter. I took a length of driftwood and hit it hard. Hit it hard right over the head. And there came away blood. That's how I got that. That's how I got that blood on my hands. It wasn't enough to save her or her mother. That driftwood, do you know where it is? I got so mad that I get so mad sometimes, So I got so mad, steaming mad, that I didn't know what to do, you understand? This thing took my wife and daughter, not me. So when I went under the water, I yelled. So when it went under the water, I yelled and shouted, threw the stick into the water. I suppose it's down there now, under the ice, with both of my girls. You all right, Mr. Stevens? Your eyes are a bit bloodshot, and you're slurring your words. Just had a bit of drink, sir. Nothing to it. You are aware this is a dry village, Mr. Stevens. Footnote. Due to rampant alcohol abuse, many villages in Alaska have banned the importation and selling of liquor. My wife and daughter have been taken, sir. Excuse me for trying to drown my sorrows. Of course, my apologies. We're all allowed to have our indiscretion sometimes, especially in times like these. I'm sorry for your loss. That's right. Glad you understand. End log. Anthony Stevens was amnesticized following the conclusion of this interview and returned to work in the weeks after, noticeably improved in temperament and attitude. The police were unable to solve the disappearance of his wife and daughter, and no charges were ever filed. Many more women and children have disappeared since. Woof. Woof. Ooh, gotta crack my neck after that one. So yes, as it is discussed in the discussion, and as I'm sure most of you read that from the description itself, this is the Foundation does not realize that there is no anomaly. That there's an urban legend, and the people who use the urban legend to cover up crimes. So Frogman, it gives Yule Man vibes. But if we were lying about the Yule Man to cover something up, woof. Well, that is exceptionally well written, and it gets its point across to be sure. So I'm giving that one an upvote. Checking back on some of the chat from during the story to see what you guys said about it. Hunter, damn it, YouTube, notify me. Sorry you missed the most of the stream. You can go back and watch the VOD when we're done. All right. Got a couple donos here to catch up on. Leuna, thank you for donating again. By the way, when I was at Acme University, I saw a hand-draw Cassie working on a car, and this Chinchilla going to a fourth wall class. Should I be worried? That sounds like crossover of the year. Not that Warner Brothers would ever interact with the SCP Foundation, because obviously the Creative Commons issue. Dr. Astrin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some toffee on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, 096 found the gender switching stone. I don't like the idea of a shy girl. I feel like women are already beset upon with a far more amount of body image issues than men are, and so that would only compound the issues that Shy Guy already has. Nope. I don't think that's a good thing. The Administrator, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a donut on your way past the commissary. What about 7122 versus 096? It's a 7122 is a camera. When it photographs a person, viewed without any special software. Instead of displaying information about the file, such as file name, date, time, such information will instead be displayed about the subject picture in the photograph. I am trying to understand what this is doing. I mean, I do see in the description results that this is killing subjects. And we would not want to destroy an anomaly, so first and foremost, we're not going to destroy 096, then we can't test it anymore. So I believe that that's going to end it there. Monster Pyre, if you want to see what SCP numbers are still open, all you have to do is go to the Series 9 page on the SCP database. Anything that's listed as access denied is an open slot. Leuna, thank you for donating again. Going to bed, but I'm still working on my first SCP. Well, good night, and good luck on that article. I mean, transfer the soul to a normal human host. That would still disable the anomaly, so we can't test it anymore, so I'm going to pass on that. Now, folk, we have reached the end of stream. It's a coffee break, and I got to get off early and get back to resting. I can already feel my voice starting to go. So, with that, Site-42 staff, as always, we end stream with my favorite SCPs, and because I'm feeling a little scratchy, I'm going to go by quick. So the announcements, number 1, remember, MetroCon July 25th. Hell, I've already got COVID, so I'll be over it by then, and I'll see you there. Second, remember that you can read the SCPs I wrote on my author page on the SCP Wiki. That's the Sherm's author page in Site-42 Hub. If you donate to Site42 to help me support the staff of Site42, I appreciate that greatly. And if you don't, if you're just here in the YouTube chat, liking, sharing, subscribing, watching the videos, commenting, then you are still helping a whole ton. You are a member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, helping me to boost Site42 and the projects that we put our hands on in the Site SCP community. We want to help the wiki, we want to help the authors, we want to help the artists, the films, the game devs. We want to do our best to up these things. It is awesome. The SCP community rocks, and we're just one little part trying to push that boulder uphill. And so, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and 8980. Content warning on the last one. That's rough. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320, and 8980. Content warning on the last one. Before I round out, there are 2 donations that came in. Felix, thank you for your first donation right here at the last minute, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a slice of pie on your way past the commissary. Hello there, just wanting to say I hope you're having a good day. And also I'm finishing making the Mark II Dragon Slayer and I am keeping it. You use Foundation materials, you're not keeping it. And if you try, something bad will happen to you again. Leona, thank you for donating again. One last question, how would you contain Bray Wyatt? I don't know what a Bray Wyatt is. Well, that entity, that is a dead human being, so we don't have to contain it. It is already contained in not being alive, unfortunately. You hate to see it. Wrestling's cool. All right, Site42 staff, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next stream or video. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, a fever all through the night.